When should I use SATA 6GB/S? I purchased a Barracuda hard drive, model SD3000DM001, that supports a maximum read transfer rate of 210 MB/s and SATA 1.5/3/6GB/s. My motherboard has a limited number of 6GB/s ports, so I'd like to reserve them for when it's really necessary. When does a hard drive benefit from a SATA 6GB/s port? Doesn't it require a transfer speed of at least 375 MB/s to surpass the limit of SATA 3GB/s? Are there any other benefits of SATA 6GB/s versus 3GB/s ports?
A hard drive benefits from being connected to a 6GB/s SATA port when the drive is capable of sustained transfers faster than a 3GB/s SATA port support. As you've surmised, the SD3000DM001 drive can't saturate a 3GB/s port based on its sustained read figure, 210 MB/s equals and GT, 1.7 GB/s, so any benefit you would get would be limited to burst transfers out of the cache. I would connect it to a 3GB/s port. Spinning disk has a hard time getting up to 6GB/s speeds. In practice, as of April 2012, only a few high-end 15K SAS drives can come close to 6GB/s performance. For example, the IBM 44W2244 clocking in at 4.7 GB/s, and the only drives that can saturate 6GB/s SAS or SATA connections are solid-state disks.
There are some advantages to a faster bus, even if a single spinning drive can't sustain that bandwidth. Faster drives. Both higher density magnetic drives, high-end SSDs and hopefully memristor-based drives can perform at high enough bandwidths as to make the faster bus a need. Big caches. Some manufacturers slap a flash device on the drive, to act as a transparent write-through cache. This can be much bigger than the usual RAM cache, so the drive can sustain faster speeds a little longer. Drive arrays. Not too common with SATA connections, but there are some externally SATA enclosures, or maybe not SATA but SOS. Since SOS and SATA share the same electrical and low-level specifications, improvements on one are quickly transferred to the other technology. Not only SOS drives are available on higher RPMs, but it's also very common to use SOS as a multi-device bus, which leads to the next. SATA multipliers/switches. Increasingly common, these devices allow you to use a big number of drives and external boxes on a small number of channels. It's almost as SOS.
Depending how you use your computer, you may cause tiny amounts of data to be transferred to or from the drive, actually the cache attached to the drive, many times per second. So if you are doing some task that does thousands of tiny transactions with the drive per second, you will save fractions of a second many times per second. Over the course of a working day, this may add up, leaving a minute early and not missing your bus, potentially saving you 15 minutes to the next bus. So a faster controller is better even though the physical spinning disk may not be faster than in an older drive. In this case, connect the device with the most disk transactions per second to the faster controller. Connect the drive with the sustained, large file transfers to the slower controller.
The difference between these would be minimal because a hard disk's transfer rate is lower than 3GB/s.
support the channel, please consider subscribing.